Happy Monday, 7th grade. This video is for Monday, April 6th, and I hope you guys are starting off another week at home doing well. Today we got a couple unusual things for you. So the first one is that we're taking a one-day break from your family unit in your literature book, and you're going to read a short story about a family who has a very unusual night. The story is by James Thurber, and the story is called The Night the Ghost Got In. You'll find a link to read the story, as well as a link to listen to someone read the story to you on YouTube if you prefer, and a link to a quiz that you'll take after reading in Google Classroom. That should automatically send the quiz in to me. As you're reading, I hope that you'll pay special attention to the way that the author uses comedy to make his point. And I also hope that you'll notice the way that he uses language, in particular similes, metaphor, and hyperbole. Remember that simile is a comparison where we use like or as. I'm as hungry as a bear. I'm as tired as a sloth. A metaphor is a comparison where you make the comparison directly. So, I am a lion of a woman, or I am a puddle of a person. And then finally, hyperbole is when you exaggerate to make your point. So you might say something like, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse, or I'm so tired I think I'll sleep till Christmas. So those are just off the cuff comparisons that I'm making here for you, but Thurber makes some really great ones as you're reading. So pay attention to those. If you see a good one, leave it for us in the Google Classroom comments so we can notice it too. And then you'll also have the opportunity to share a couple of those in the quiz. Today you will also we're almost to the end, just today and a little bit more in your vocabulary book. So you're working on a couple more cumulative reviews. I did get questions from a couple of you as you were working on that last week, which was great. Remember that the cumulative reviews that you're working on today is 14 and 15. Those correspond to chapters 14 and 15 in your book. So if you're not quite sure what to do, your first and best resource would be to flip back to chapters or lessons 14 and 15 to review what's there. And then if you still can't figure it out, as always, I'm here Monday through Friday from 9 to 2. So feel free to email me, lsmallwood@mylegacyschool.com. In addition to the short story and the quiz and the vocabulary, today you should be beginning work on your new grammar packets. So those came home. They look like this. Those came home with the work that I sent last Friday. You should have gotten a whole bunch, I guess, 3 novels, which we'll talk about soon. And then this grammar packet. So what this packet is going to do, now that we're almost to the end of the grammar book, this is going to take you back through some of the important work that you did earlier in the year. So today, all 4 of the pages that you'll work on in here are directly review questions coming out of chapter 1. If you remember, chapter 1 in your book is all about sentences. So they're going to ask you, first off, if you're looking at that first page, which says 51 on the bottom, about 4 types of sentences. Now those 4 types are declarative, which is a statement. It's a sentence that makes a fact, and it ends with a period, a declaration. Then there's interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences ask a question. They tend to end with a question mark. We have imperative sentences, which give a command or make a request, and those usually end with a period. Give me that, John, would be an imperative sentence. And then an exclamatory sentence usually ends with an exclamation point, and that's like a strong feeling. Wow, you're here. And then you might put an exclamation point at the end of that. So as you work through those, they're going to ask you about those different types of sentences. And then they're going to have you think about drawing lines and noticing the difference between subjects and predicates. Now, if you want to review that specifically, you're going to want to go back in your writing and grammar books to page 5. Page 5 is where we had the lesson on subjects and predicates. You did that with Miss B in the beginning of the year. So that should help you complete page 53. And then sentence errors, I think, is a really helpful thing to review, especially just seeing your writing. I know that this is something some of you are still working on. So particularly what they're wanting you to do is think about fragments. And so a sentence fragment is when you have something that looks like a sentence because maybe it starts with a capital letter and it ends with a period and it's got some words, but it doesn't actually have everything a sentence needs to be a sentence. It doesn't have a subject and a predicate. It's just part of an idea. It might not have a verb, or it might have a verb, but it might not have the subject that the verb needs to do its action. So they're going to have you look back through that. Now, if you want to review specifically sentences, fragments, comma splices, etc., all of that starts in chapter 1 on page 13. So flip back through. You use that to help you as you go. I'm a resource. I'm here for you. You can either leave a comment in the Google Classroom or you can email me directly. Thanks to all of you who've logged on to the Google Classroom. I think I have all of you in there by now. And so, of course, the next step is this week, you should be working on turning in your assignments. And you'll notice when you log on in the stream is kind of where you'll have all the information from me, including your assignment for the day and videos. And then under the classwork tab, there's a place for you to click on those. Most of them are just the assignment that you're already doing, but you're going to take a picture of the completed page and then just attach it there and send it back to me so I can look it over and make sure that you're on track. I hope we can keep doing that because I really want to be in touch and see how you guys are doing and how I can help you. Let's work really hard this week because we're going to finish. We're going to finish everything that you've got. We're going to finish grammar, we're going to finish vocabulary, we're going to finish literature, and that means that coming soon we can begin our novel studies, and you'll hear more from me about that in the next couple of days. Hang in there. Hope you get off to a great week. I'll look forward to Wednesday when I get to Zoom call with you guys. So I will send more information about that soon. In the meantime, take care.